Mr. Ann, can you help her with the microphone
Thank
to her voice? And
That's it.
she may need to move the chair up a little bit too. Thank you.
Make sure that last channel I can hear you when you do. Keeps voice up. State your name for the record, please.
Nadia Knighton.
What do you do for a living, man?
I'm a sexual assault nurse examiner at Sunwood Hospital.
All right, two things. First, know your name for my court reporter.
First name is Niya.
Last name.
Last name is Kenighton.
You're doing great. Make sure you keep your volume up if everybody can hear you. Having fun with the microphone?
We're okay.
All right. So you told us what you do for a living. It's a big, long title. And it is what again?
It's a sexual assault nurse examiner, also known as a forensic nurse examiner.
Yeah, it's recently changed to a forensic examiner,
Yes.
correct? Tell them what that means.
So forensic nurse examiner, we complete exams. It used to be just sexual assault exam. For now, we also have physical abuse, domestic abuse, interpersonal violence, child abuse. And we see a lot of gunshot victims and stabbing victims.
When did that, I know that the title changed, but I can't remember when that changed.
Within the last like three years or so.
So about 3 years ago.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's say that after you get through testifying, one of the jurors thought, man, that's pretty cool what she did. I'd like to do that job. What kind of education and training does it take to do that?
First, you have to become a nurse, specifically a bachelor's preferred. And then you have to go to, a training. Trainings can be sponsored by different places, Texas A&M. But it's mostly by the Texas Office of Attorney General. So you obtain a certification there, and then you take courses for certification after that as well.
You did all that.
Yes, sir.
And if you said it, I apologize. Where'd you do all your training at?
I did my training at Moyer Harmon in Houston.
Okay. And how long ago did you do your training?
Over 12 years ago.
Okay. And you've been doing that kind of examination since that time frame?
Yes, sir.
You have an estimation about how many exams you've done?
Hundreds.
Okay. And how many times have you come to testify?
Several.
And so you're not a stranger to the courtroom?
No, sir.
Okay. And where are you currently working, ma'am?
I work with San Elizabeth, well, now Crystal Southeast Texas.
In that capacity, did you come across a patient by the name of Nisha Park?
Yes, sir, right.
Do you remember that date of service as far as she was concerned?
It was November the 9th, 2024.
And it was to do an exam like we've been talking to the jury about.
It was a combination of the sexual assault exam and physical assault.
Okay. We're gonna come back to that, but may I approach, Judge?
Yes.
Let's start with some of the record keeping. I'll show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. I think the medical records from that exam that you did in Miss Park.
Yes, sir.
In fact, you were reviewing all this prior to testifying, were you not?
Yes, sir.
And does it contain a total of 111 pages worth of medical records pertaining to that?
Yes, sir.
Is that inclusive of your saying, which you're holding a copy of those 8 reports, 8 pages? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Does it also contain photographs of the injuries that you saw that day?
Yes, sir, it does.
Does it contain in those pictures how you document those injuries?
Yes, sir.
And we'll get into that detail again. And is all that detail accurately within these records?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's back up to records in general. Are you one of the people that has access to medical records?
Yes, sir.
Are these medical records kept in the normal course and business of the hospital?
Yes, sir.
As you've reviewed them, can you tell us that this set of records in State's Exhibit 1 are true and accurate as to the records that were taken on November 9th of 2024 in regards to Ms. Park?
Yes, sir.
And can you testify that they are trustworthy?
Yes, sir.
In other words, nobody's been able to get in and change these records and modify things. And do you independently remember the information that's contained within?
Yes, sir.
And I know it's kind of worded funny, but you do a lot of these exams, right?
Yes, sir.
When you reviewed this, did it come back to your memory?
Yes, sir.
Did this particular examination stand out to you as something out of the norm,
Yes, sir.
specifically the injuries?
Yes, sir.
This time, Your Honor, we're going to tender state's exhibit on the medical records in its entirety regarding Ms. Park.
No objection, Your Honor.
Admitted.
All right, we're going to get to some of the details, but before we start showing some of these photographs and how you document, let's walk the jury through what happens when the average person comes in and you start an examination. What takes place?
So initially, like every patient that comes into the ER, they are triaged, a triage nurse. They tell the triage nurse that they're there for a sexual assault exam. Then they in turn call one of the sexual assault nurse examiners that are on call. We come into the hospital and we take that patient out of the general ER population and place them in our secure room. At that time, we will then get consent from the patient to perform the exam that we're going to perform. And then we begin a head to toe assessment like every patient in the ER gets. And then we document our findings from there.
So that head to toe examination, why do y'all do that?
Is to basically diagnose and treat the patient.
And that was done in specifically regarding Ms. Parr, correct?
It was.
I believe, I'm going to show you what's marked as page 6 of that state's exhibit 1. Is this the thing best to put up for the jury about that emergency note and what was done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You speak medical language, right?
Yeah,
So
Pretty much.
you'll be best to read this stuff in the abbreviations, correct?
yes, sir.
All right, so this is, does it state correctly that this comes from page 6 of the 111
Yes, sir.
regarding Miss Parr, Nisha Parr, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's the patient's name down at the bottom. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Scrolling up, was this the doctor that treated her?
Yes, sir.
Is that the one that you pass off to her?
Yes, sir.
Does this indicate the time that she was seen?
Yes, sir.
That says 1950, is that about 7:50?
750, yes, sir.
So it's a military time reference, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's got her name, date of birth, yes?
Yes, sir.
Starts out as a sane case, is that a reference meaning that you were called in?
Yes, sir. It's the case number that's given by the police department.
And when they do that, we gotta adjust this so we can actually read this a little bit better, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I was asking that question about whether or not this was a good document for us to read into the record for you. And we're getting here where it says the general complaint description. How is it that this is generated, this language we're about to read? Where does it come from?
It's transcribed from the physician herself. They have a transcription service where they speak into a phone that transcribes these records for them.
All right. Is that big enough for you to be able to read that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Underneath complaint description, what does it say?
30-year-old female denies previous medical history, presenting to the ED for evaluation,
What does ED stand for?
emergency department.
All right, we're just gonna be clear, because I know you know that, but I don't. ED could stand for, I don't know, education. I could give other examples, but we're gonna leave it right there. All right, so emergency room department, pick it up from there, please.
For evaluation after assault by a known assailant. Patient does not remember the events that happened, but was hit against a drawer with her head and choked unconscious multiple times.
That's your first sentence in that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and pick up.
She is covered in various bruises, including one that looks like maybe from a bite on the right shoulder.
Let me stop there. That's another sentence, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so go ahead.
Endorses pain and headache and ringing in the ears and vomiting 4+ times since the assault.
Go ahead.
She was in her usual state of health prior to the assault. She was seen by the same RN who brought the patient to my attention for further medical workup.
All right, so while we've got this on and the lights are off, were you the same that she saw?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it mentions a couple of things right off the bat. It says that the patient doesn't remember the event, but she hit her head against the door with her head and choked unconscious multiple times. Did she tell you that as well?
She did.
Okay. Next sentence says she is covered in various bruises. Did you see those bruises?
I did.
Are those some of the things that we're going to show the jury as how you documented that?
Yes, sir.
All right. She mentions, looks like maybe a bite on the right shoulder. Did you see that?
Yes, sir.
Did you document a bite mark on her right shoulder?
I did.
And did she describe that as injuries to you as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this next thing, help me understand that, because if I need some understanding, I'm pretty sure the jury does too. Endorses pain and headache and ringing in the ears and vomiting 4+ times since the assault. What does that tell someone with your training?
That there's possibly a head injury.
Is that what you were concerned with?
Yes, sir.
Is that why you brought her to the emergency room?
That and strangulation.
Okay. Are those common with someone who's hit their head, the strangulation, things of that nature?
Yes, sir.
Are we trying to rule out, gosh, what's it called? Concussion?
We are.
Okay. Thank you. All right, so thank you, Dennis. When you're doing that examination, ma'am, and are you responsible for photographing the injuries and all?
I am.
I'll hand you what's right at the beginning of these records. What appears to be nine pages front and back of photographs. Are these the photographs of the injuries that Ms. Parr presented on November 9th of 2024?
Yes, sir.
In those pictures, I think we see a blue object. What is that?
It is a ruler.
Is that what you use to try to determine the length of injuries?
Yes, sir.
Like the better way to put it.
For measurement and to also show to someone who's not there the objectivity of how big that injury may be as compared to what we were.
You measure it in inches or meters?
Centimeters.
Centimeters. All right, so there's a gloved hand in there. Is that your hand?
Yes, sir.
And how are we certain that that's you?
Because I'm documenting these injuries.
What color is the glove?
They're pink.
All right. So should the jury choose to go back and look at some of these photographs?
And then you're referring, please, for the record, this is part of Which exhibit?
These are all part of State's Exhibit 1 out of the medical records, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I've just put the first one up here and we've kind of got it as a focal point. Do you remember Miss Park?
Yes, sir.
Is that her that's photographed here?
Yes, sir.
And is that you trying to document a particular injury there?
Yes, sir.
What are they looking at? What are you looking at here that you're documenting for us?
It was me on the left. I believe that was an abrasion on her neck. Oh. On her neck, I had listed multiple bruises. So, could have been a bruise.
Showing you another set of photographs. Here, are we looking at what could be finger marks on her neck?
Yes, sir. We have them listed as bruises.
Well, what did you think when you saw that?
But I think,
Yeah, what'd you think? What'd you think that was? What'd you think caused that?
well, we try not to stay without being there, so I could. Watch
You
it
just
as a
doctored.
bruise. Yes, sir.
Have you seen bruising like that before?
Yes, sir.
What was it attributed to?
Usually strangulation or choking of some kind.
So is it fair to say, and are you comfortable to say that these marks that we're looking at in these photographs is consistent with the history that she gave you, that she was strangled and choked on this day?
Yes, sir.
Most people consent to that kind of thing.
No, sir. Not usually.
And did anything within her time that she was talking to you indicated that she consented to what occurred to her here?
No, sir.
Is there any doubt in your mind that this is the level of an assault?
Did you repeat that? Sorry.
What we're looking at here in these injuries fits with an assault, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm looking for, help me find a photograph that shows the 5 mark.
It's on her.
We're talking about here.
Yes, sir.
Is that being further away?
Yes.
So is this the close-up that you pointed out to me, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
This is her right shoulder,
Yes, sir.
her being Miss Park.
Yes, sir.
I slide it over one. This is a little closer on that one as well.
Yes, sir.
And a little further away, this is what we're honing in on with these two, correct?
Yes, sir.
How many total injuries did you document on this?
I count for the several.
I know you got handy there. I'm gonna go to, when you're doing the same exam, you have to actually, as you're taking these pictures and you're documenting your injuries, you put it on something that is part of your report, correct?
Yes, sir.
Tell the jury what that's associated with before I throw onto the big screen those photographs or those pictures.
Included in the sexual assault examination report, there are body diagrams that we choose based on the patient that we're seeing. So in her case, I would have chosen a body diagram of a vagina and also of a female, who put the injuries on.
Yeah, approach the injury.
Yes.
So I want to make sure, I know you took a copy of it, so when the jury eventually looks at these records, am I correct that from page 38 to page 45 of the 111 is your 8-page report?
Yes, sir. It's the sexual assault report. There's also an additional strangulation report that further in the document.
This report, is it a pre-printed report that you fill out?
Yes, sir.
Tell the jury about how that happens.
Whenever we're doing a sexual assault exam that is considered acute, which means it happens within 120 hours, we obtain a kit. These kits are sealed and it's already pre-filled with everything that's needed. Mostly. So when we open these kits, we have to cut them open because again, they're sealed prior to getting them and it's a ton of paperwork, envelopes, Q-tips, things that we would need to complete a sexual assault exam. These forms are included within that box.
So that box has that form in it?
Yes, sir.
You open it up and you pull it out
Yes, sir.
and you start documenting, correct?
Yes, sir.
Does it include on page 7 what starts out as an empty diagram of an individual's body?
Yes, sir.
I note on this one that it says adult female. You've got forms for adult male,
Yes, sir.
forms for child male.
Child, the children, the infant and the child, or they don't have genitalia on them.
Okay. And that's his follow-up page, correct?
Yes, sir.
As far as the genitalia on page 8.
Yes, sir.
But the diagram is this, right?
Yes, sir.
So is this where you detailed all the different injuries that she had?
Yes, sir. It would detail, all of the injury that I could get done at that time. It does not detail the anal genital injuries that's done on the anal genital, body diagram.
I haven't seen you write this often. This wording here, go ahead and read that for the jury.
The preliminary exam due to patient not feeling well.
Okay, has that happened in time frame that you've done these exams?
Not very often.
Am I correct in understanding for the jury's education, you had to stop what you were doing because of her health?
Yes, sir. Medical, presentation of the patient overrides our sexual assault.
And what was it that prevented you from going into any further detail?
She started vomiting.
And in that you associate that with?
Well, with her injuries that she said she hit her head on the dresser, things of that nature. So we wanted to get her into the ER so we can determine if she had a concussion of some sort.
Right, those are the things we covered first, but
Yeah.
that's why you stopped, right?
Yeah.
So before you stopped, you were able to get all of these detailed examples of her injuries?
Yes, sir.
Before we go into what's on this chart, did she indicate that any of these injuries existed before November 9th of 2024?
She did not.
So had she presented on November 8th, she wouldn't have all these injuries that we're looking at, right?
No, sir.
All right, so I don't know a better way to do it other than we've got the chart up here, so let's kind of walk our way through it.
Yes, sir.
Tell the jury let's start here on this. You read and tell them what that means.
It's a 2.5 by half centimeter purple bruise.
And where is that located on the body?
It is located on her right foot.
Now that measurement that you're giving them, is that because you used that blue ruler?
Yes, sir.
And you corrected me, are these centimeter sizes?
Yes, sir.
Not inches, these are centimeter sizes for that.
Yes, sir.
So that's that's how big it was on that foot.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go this way. What do we see? What's this one here?
A 2 by half purple bruise.
And right above it?
1 by half centimeter red bruise.
That, and I'll stop there. Could you visibly see those bruises on her foot
Yes, sir.
as you're documenting?
Yes, sir.
Is that part of what you're doing when a patient presents and they say, I've got this on my hand or my foot. You look for it
Correct,
and then you document.
correct.
Are you looking yourself without the patient telling you?
Yes, sir.
These particular injuries, were they obvious?
Yes, sir.
Were they fresh?
Yes, sir.
And by fresh, tell them what you know that to mean from a medical standpoint.
You can somewhat date a bruise based on the color that it is. So if something were to happen today or maybe even yesterday, then maybe red or even purple, something that happened days ago would more likely be yellow or brown.
So does that mean that this jury can rest assured that this happened on the night, not a week before?
Correct.
All right, so we've only gotten as far as this foot here. Let's go jump over here on this side. What do we see here? On the would be her left side of her bottom.
We have a 2 by 0.3 centimeter red abrasion.
So tell them the difference between a bruise and an abrasion.
A bruise is pretty much collection of blood under the skin that leaves the red or purple markings. An abrasion would be more like a scratch or a break in the skin.
Yes, good point to stop and say. Any indication that these wounds were self-inflicted?
No, no indications.
I'm going to try to work up the body that's here, so I'm going to jump to the next one here.
Mr. Ham,
Yes.
I think we're going to give the jury a break.
Okay.
Right now, they've been seated a while. Ladies and
Thank you,
gentlemen, you're 10, 15 minutes, relax, stretch your legs, and then report back outside. Thank you very much. Everyone else remain seated while the jury exits. And the record shall show that the jury is seated in the courtroom. All parties are present. The witness is on the witness stand and the state may proceed. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to keep going through the details that are provided here. I'm going to continue to try to work from the bottom of the body up. We'll bounce around a little bit as far as that's concerned. I believe that, did you cover this injury here, ma'am?
No, they're not yet.
All right, so that's where we're at this stage on the right-hand side of the body. What did you observe here?
A 5 by a half centimeter red bruise.
And next to it was what?
That's a 5 by 2.5 purple bruise.
We should back over to here.
And it's a half by half centimeter red and purple bruise.
And just up from there.
A 3 centimeter red abrasion.
So by comparison, you haven't noticed anything on the back side. That is correct.
Okay.
I'm going to follow the writing. And I don't think this tracks the location. What do we see here? Where is it located?
It's located on her lower right side of her back, and it's 5 centimeter red bruise.
That's 5 centimeters here, correct?
Correct. You follow the line up to the lower back.
I'm following your writing so you can see how I'm handling this.
Yes, sir.
What do we see here?
A 6.5 by half centimeter red abrasion
And that was located where on the body?
on the right side of like her hip area.
I'll pause for just a moment. During this examination, the patient is clothed.
Usually we'll put them in a hospital gown and we remove it in sections so that we can keep them warm and comfortable while we're living it.
Provide some modesty at the same time,
Yes, sir.
but they're not dressed like I am today.
No, sir.
They're wearing a hospital gown.
Usually a hospital gown, or if they're in their own clothing, we'll just, remove them section by section and give them like a sheet.
If the jury's really interested, can they see that in the photographs that you took as to how the patient covers and uncovers the portions that you're
Yes.
looking? All right, so saying again, we noted this marking.
Yes, sir. And then
Is this here locating this injury here?
yes, sir.
What is that?
That's a 5.5 centimeter red abrasion.
Over to the backside, what do we see, gentlemen?
A 2 centimeter red and green bruise.
Going on to the other side to this, what you found here,
A 5 centimeter red abrasion.
where's that on the bottom?
It's more on her abdomen area on the right side,
And this injury?
on her, follow it all the way to her stomach.
No, I'm.
Oh, that
moving up to the next.
That one is a 6 by 1/2 centimeter red bruise. Above that one, we get a 5.5 by 1 centimeter red bruise.
Both of these are on her left arm.
Right.
You meant correct, yes. Not to be funny, but you're saying it's the left. I was accurately saying it's the left arm.
On this side, it will be her right.
That's what I needed to get clarified. It's the right. This is her right arm. We covered this one. What do we see here?
It's a 1 by 1 centimeter purple bruise. And it's on the back of her right arm.
Thank you. And this one?
And then that will be a 5 by 1 centimeter red bruise, and that's on the right side of her back.
And next up,
And it's a 19 by 0.7 centimeter red and green abrasion. And that's more between her back and the bone area.
like here, is it here?
Yes, sir.
Right, so I realize the writing's up here, but you noted an injury that's located here, correct?
Right. That injury is a 3 centimeter red bruise.
That's this handwriting here.
Yes, sir.
We'll go back over here to the front side.
Yeah.
What does this say?
Approximately 10 small red bruises and abrasions.
That's these different markings.
Yes, sir.
Let's go over here to this side where you noted this right here now.
Okay, it's a 1 centimeter red abrasion. And that one's to her upper right side of her back.
Is that this marking here?
Yes, sir. That is a 3 centimeter by 1 centimeter red abrasion. That one would be the 2 by 1.5 centimeter red abrasion / bruise.
It's the bite mark?
No, well, it's part of it, yes.
Okay. Let's jump next to it.
And there's a 6 by 2 centimeter abrasion and red bruise.
And this one.
And then that's a 5 by 2.5 centimeter red bruise.
All right, so I think we've covered this side here, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's stick with this for one moment.
Okay.
You had an entry here, in these items right here, yes?
Yes, sir. I just listed them as multiple red bruises.
And what are those?
So it's just several red bruises all together that if I tried to write them all up, you would not be able to see.
Was that an example of the photograph I showed the jury before we broke out the chart?
Sorry, you can see some of it.
Where I was talking about that it was evidence of strangulation.
Yes, sir.
All right, I think we've covered this side of the body, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that leads here, you noted something,
A 3 centimeter red possible bite mark.
and that's this where my pen is, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then we go up to this notation,
And that's a red / purple bruise.
and that's, where is that? Is that on the eye?
That's around that time.
Okay. And this one,
And then it has just multiple red facial abrasions.
and that obviously on the front side of the face.
Yes, sir.
Like I said before, I made the comment that this is a lot as far as what you typically diagram as far as injuries.
Yes, sir.
Is that comment that I made true?
Yes, sir.
You always fill out this particular sheet when you do an exam,
Yes, sir.
but the atypical amount is the number of injuries, right? So we know that your examination was interrupted again, and that's behind what you said about the limited exam. Is there other injuries maybe that didn't get documented here?
Yes, sir. That's why I make sure to put that note, because it's no way if somebody's feeling ill that I'm gonna make them say that are documented, so I'll just put that I was gonna put documents on all. Also, usually, all bruises don't show up at that time, so there may be some bruises that may be coming up later on.
When you're conducting your exam, is there a point in time when, it's a better question, is a point in time that you get a history of what took place with the patient?
Yes, sir.
Tell the jury when that takes place.
Usually after they sign the consent, and you come to obtain vital signs and ask a few general questions like medication, allergies, things of that nature, then we'll ask them, what happened.
And is that when you start filling in what appears on page 2 of your report,
Yes, sir.
where it's titled History of Incidents?
Yes, sir.
All right, so before we actually read this, tell them how it is that you generate the information that they're about to see.
We type as they're telling us what happened. So as they're saying the words, we're actually typing them at the same time.
Much like my court reporter's taking down what we're saying, you try to do that with the patient?
Yes, sir.
Probably not the training that Mercedes done.
No, sir.
So,
We're going to, on this eye exam you're about to conduct,
yes, sir.
we're going to dim the lights, and if
Okay.
you'd be so kind to blow that up
Yes,
as
sir.
much as you can.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, Mr. Thank you. Thanks. Dennis, thank you. It's already on, Jim.
Cool.
Thank you.
On my screen there, it's a little bit bigger than what we're seeing here, so that's what I'm trying to adjust for. So this is what you're being told, and you're transcribing it as far as what takes place, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna try to follow with my pen as you read. It starts out patient states, and then you quote it. Correct?
Correct.
Go ahead and read.
My ex-boyfriend kidnapped my kids and came back when I was home and broke in. He dragged me by my hair from the kitchen to my bedroom. I want to say it's choking because he grabbed this and she grabbed the front of her throat.
All right, so let me stop you there. When you put that in parentheses, is that to indicate that she's not saying that?
Right, I'm indicating what I'm noticing for her.
Yeah. So let's pick up where you said grabs your front of your, she grabs the front of her throat. She's indicating to you.
Correct. I couldn't breathe. I passed out a few times and he smashed my head into my dresser. He choked me again like that, and when I woke up, I didn't have anything on. Everything that's in that bag was on me. My underwear was ripped. I have a knot on this side, on the left side of her head, of my head. When I woke up, I was crying and trying to figure out what happened. I asked him what was he doing. It was like a cycle. He would cry and apologize and then go back into a rage. He would choke me, hit me, grab me, and throw me on the dresser and into the wall. He just kept hitting me. I asked him a few times if I could get some water. Every time he would walk me in the kitchen, he would walk in the kitchen with me. The last time he didn't walk in the kitchen with me, and I ran out the back door to the chicken place, and I used a woman's phone and called the police. They came to where I was standing at the corner of Courtroom and 11th Street. They drove me to my house. My kids was walking across the yard. and she names her 3 kids with their ages. They said he was driving through the neighborhood and stopped halfway down the street and told them to get out of his truck. Last night I didn't stay at home. That's how he got them. He went there this morning and told them I had sent him to get them. That's why they willingly left with him. He took them to his house. When I got home this morning, no one was there. It was around 9 o'clock. This was the second time he's done this. The first time they dismissed the charges, saying it wasn't enough evidence. The first time he held me and 2 of my kids hostage. He put a gun against our heads and everything. They didn't give me a restraining order or anything. I had victim's assistance and everything. I have a trespassing thing on him. This has been going on for a while and they don't do anything. And then I made a note that the patient is covered in bruises and abrasions. She began vomiting and feeling ill during the photo documentation part of the exam. Photographs are available, but not all injuries are measured.
Thank you, Jim. So again, just for the jury's education, this portion is as far as the history of the incident. You do that with any patient that you conduct these kind of exams.
Yes,
And you detail this information, no matter what it is a person's telling, right?
correct.
Why do y'all do it that way?
Everybody in the ER actually does it, but it's just so that we know, one, what injuries we're looking for, what may have happened, and it's to diagnose and treat the patient.
Are you attempting to be just a neutral obtainer of any evidence?
Yes, sir.
Does it make a difference when somebody comes into the ER for these type of exams?
It does.
Tell the jury what the time frame is for this.
To have an acute exam, it has to be done within 120 hours of the sexual assault. Anything outside of that is considered non-acute.
So are you looking for potentially what could be biological evidence?
Yes, sir.
And what is biological evidence?
Like DNA.
And did you collect any form of those kind of things on this particular exam?
I took several swabs from her. And then one for page 42 of 111, it's detailed everything that I obtained.
You told the jury before we took the break, in our discussion, that you also fill out a different form for strangulation.
Yeah, that would be.
Is that this 3-page portion, which appear to be pages 105, 106, and 107 from State's Exhibit 1?
Yes, sir.
Let's go through that on the big screen, if you don't mind.
Okay.
First off, what's the title?
Non-fatal strangulation assessment form.
Means she didn't die from being strangled, right?
Correct.
Still our same individual, correct?
Yes, sir.
Does she indicate about how long ago it started?
Yes, sir. The date of strangulation is at 11/9/24, and it approximately started at 1:15 p.m.
And how long did she say it took place?
Between 2 and 3 hours on and off.
She gave you a number of occurrences and description of force.
Correct.
How are and what numbers indicated there?
Well, the number of occurrences, of course, she's trying to tell me at least how many times she thinks it happened, and the description of force, we normally give them a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most force ever, and she gives it a 10.
Right. So from this portion here, is it accurate to say that she says there was only one person that did this?
Correct.
That's the reported perpetrators.
Correct.
That he strangled her 10 times.
Yes, sir.
And she describes the force on a 10-point scale at being 10.
Correct.
I noted here, ma'am, that there's a couple of times where she looked she gives the amount of pain that she experienced. What does she tell about the headaches there?
So during the neurological part, she states that she had dizziness, fainting, and a headache, a pain of 7 out of 10. That she did lose consciousness and she had ringing in her ears.
When we look at the second page of this, does she give another pain scale in regards to her face?
Yes, so on her face, it's noted of bruises and abrasions, and when asked, she gave a pain scale of 8 out of 10.
And for her scalp?
Being 10 out of 10. Also some point tenderness because her hair was.
Did she indicate that she started vomiting before she got there?
She did, in one of these films, she said she had vomited prior to coming to the ER. That's on the next page.
I'm reading and doing two things at the same time. All right, so before we leave this page, you wrote additional data. What is this telling
So
the
she
jury?
she states that she's unable to open her mouth, due to pain at the jaw.
So, Ms. Snyden, what were you concerned with here?
That she possibly had a broken jaw.
And did we do some testing to determine that?
We did.
Did she have a broken jaw?
No, it was not broken.
But you were concerned about that, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is the last page. This part, page 107. She did tell you that she was vomiting before she got there.
Yes, sir.
And what do you note here under the additional data?
Patient began vomiting while completing her exam.
Those things are kind of hard to fake, aren't they? Any impression that all these injuries that you and I've been talking about, that she was faking this or that it was self-inflicted?
No, sir. Usually with head injuries, we're pretty concerned when they're vomiting, because it can indicate increased intracranial pressure. So that's one of the reasons we took her to the ER.
So I think during the break, you clarified for me that there's a difference between looking at checking for concussion versus a CT scan.
Well, we did a CT scan, several different CT scans. So we did
Tell me
one,
about that.
yeah, we did one CT scan of her head. We did another CT scan of her abdomen and pelvis. And again, that's just looking for different injuries.
So did she have a concussion?
She didn't have any head injuries, but Dr. Hopkins did put concussion as one of her impressions that she got from that.
So possible concussion.
Yes, sir.
No broken jaw,
No broken jaw.
but plenty of bruises and abrasions, all of which we've gone through in detail. Right?
Yes, sir.
Other than the date of November 9th of 2024, did you have any follow-up with her about this?
I don't. Follow up is sometimes hard, but it doesn't always mean that I will do it.
How long do you think your involvement with her was that night at the hospital?
I think I began with her. Her history was at 4:50, and I believe. I know it's somewhere in it, about 7:20 is when I took her to the ER.
So roughly 3 hours she was with you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. That's what.
Good morning.
Um,
I think this has been clarified, but I just want to make a clarification. There was no evidence of sexual assault, was there?
There was a concern of sexual.
And that's obviously why you were brought in, but you determined there was no evidence of that, correct?
There's a concern of, I can't say whether it was or not. We sent the DNA.
Okay.
For testing.
But you didn't see anything that indicated sexual assault.
She did have some injuries noted there, but again, normally I can say it factually if they said this happened, but because she lost consciousness, I couldn't say that, so I can only put concern of.
Okay, all right. And regarding the assault, you're only able to relate to the jury what you were told regarding what happened, correct? Okay, you can tell them what injuries you saw, and the medical side of it, because that's your job, correct? But you can't tell them beyond what she told you.
Correct.
Okay. That's the witness.
No additional questions to this witness, Judge.
Is this lady excused? Please, Your Honor. You are excused, ma'am. Thanks. Next, please.
David Call,
Please state your name for the record.
Cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to work. Well, everybody kind of moves the chair around the microphone towards your voice, and please pull the chair up closer to the microphone. And then it'll help us. Are you comfortable? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
please state your name for the record.
Bishop Walker.
And Miss Parr, where do you currently, well, are you currently living here in the Beaumont area?
Yes.
And were you living in the Beaumont area on November 9th, 2024?
Yes.
And where were you living at on that day?
2480, Beaumont 62775.
And that's here in Jefferson County, Texas?
Yes.
Who did you you lived there on Rainier Street? Did you live in a house or an apartment? Okay. Did you rent that house or you own it or?
Oh, it was fine. He passed away and left it to his people.
Okay. So you were living in your grandfather's house. Who else lived in the house with you? Okay. And how old were they back then?
13, 8, 83.
Okay. 13, 8, and 3 at that time. Do you know an individual by the name of Charles Johnson Jr.?
Yes.
And do you see that individual in the courtroom here today?
Yes.
And could you please point and describe an article of clothing that he's wearing?
Black.
And Your Honor, to ask the record reflect the witness identified the defendant.
Yes, it will.
And how do you know Mr. Johnson?
We did.
When did y'all date?
2023.
In 2023. About how long did y'all do it?
February to August.
From February to August. So in August of 23, y'all pretty much quit seeing each other.
Mhm.
Okay. So all the way up until November the 9th, 2024, y'all really had y'all communicated or?
Yes.
But had y'all been dating that time? And on November 9th, 2024, were you at that time, were you dating Mr. Johnson?
No.
And were you dating another individual?
Yes.
And who was that?
Okay.
So you were dating another man. And how long had you been dating that individual before this date? Before November 9th?
On him.
Okay. So it's kind of on and off, and then you had dated Mr. Johnson in 2023 from February to August. Then you were dating Trayvon again after that.
Yes.
Okay. So what, as far as what happened on November the 9th, what happened leading up to that? What
Was
did you?
that 2024?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. So on November 9th, 2024, let's kind of take the jury through it. What did you, how did that day start off?
I woke up at Trayvon's house and went home. When I went to my house, my kids weren't there. Nobody was opening the door. I couldn't get in. My door is a double deadbolt, so you need a key from the inside and the outside. My children had the key, but they weren't opening the door because they went home. So I went to my garage. We tried to get in my house that way. When I was getting in the garage that way, by the time I had made it in, the garage going back down, Mr. Charles had pulled in my driveway and basically came to my garage. And then I was trying to back up and make it into the house. And by the time I made it into my back door of my house, he was coming in. He began assaulting me. He pulled my hair. He drove me from my kitchen into my bedroom on the other side of the house.
Okay, and I'm kind of stop you there and let's slowly go. So you're at Trayvon's house the night before this?
I went there like 3 o'clock.
Okay, so you leave your kids, were they sleeping at the house?
My oldest was woke, but my youngest two were asleep. I let her know that I was leaving and locked the door. She locked the door behind me and we got in front.
And did you leave them, did you leave her daughter with the key or anything? Did she have, did you have your cell phone with you when you left?
Yes,
Okay. And so you leave, you go to Trayvon's house, then you're returning. About what time were you returning? Okay, so you're coming back around 9 o'clock on November the 9th, 2024, and that's coming back to 2480 Rainier Street.
yes.
So we're coming back to the house. So when you get up to the door, what happens then?
Knocking up, ringing the doorbell. I have a mail slot on my house. I'm opening it, screaming my kids' names, but there's no movement, quiet, so I can tell it's nobody in there.
Did you find that odd that none of your kids answered the door or responded to you? Okay. So you don't know where your kids are at that point, or you don't know if something's happened to them, correct? Okay. And so what do you try and do at that point? You go to the garage? Was your garage, did you have a garage door opener or did you?
But it's broken, so you have to manually lift it up and down, and the metal is broken, so you have to like really fight to get it up and down.
Okay. And so were you attempting to lift it up there with your hands and get it
I
to?
did get into the garage. I let the garage go so it could fall back down, and that's when the truck pulled up and lifted it back up.
Okay, so the truck, and you're saying Mr. Johnson pulls up in his
Yeah.
truck?
It lifts it back up.
So he pulls into your carport, you've just lifted the garage up a little to get in, and then what does he do at that point? Do you know if he?
I let it go, cause again, it's broken, so it just don't fall. When I let it go to drop it, that's when he picks it up, and he opens it all the way back up.
Okay, so you actually let the garage door fall down?
Yes.
And then Mr. Johnson came and lifted it up real
Yes.
quick? And what happened after that? After he lifted?
I'm trying to make it into my house through my back door. My garage is like junk all over the place, so I'm trying not to fall. By the time I make it to my back door, he basically leave there.
Is he saying anything to you at that time?
He's talking, but I can't 100% remember it right now what he was saying.
Did you invite him into your house?
I hadn't communicated with him, I hadn't spoke with him or anything to tell him to come there, be there, or anything of that sort.
Did you find it odd that he had just showed up out of
Yes.
nowhere?
Well, no, because he just showed up at my house before, uninvited and unannounced.
Okay, so he showed up kind of uninvited before that.
Yes, I had to get a trespassing ticket against him at 24A every year because he just would come to my house whenever he wanted.
Okay, so you actually had him trespass there from that resident. So you get into the house and he's kind of, is he walking behind you or what's?
Backing up, so he's walking towards me. It's kind of that type of situation, but as soon as I make it in the house, he's right there, so.
Okay. And he just walks in the house without you asking him to come in or inviting him. What happens when you get in the house?
I'm asking him where my kids are at this point because I'm figuring out something is going on. But he just started hitting me. It shocked me. And he dragged me by my hair to the back or to my room across the other side of the house. Hit my head against the wall, the dressers. I went in and out of consciousness. I woke up with no clothes on. I was just confused.
And so if at that point, y'all hadn't been dating in a long time, is that correct? So if Mr. Johnson told the detective, well, he thought y'all were dating, would that be incorrect?
Very much so.
Okay. So he comes in, he starts hitting you, and where's he hitting you at?
On my face. He's choking me here. Really just my face. Cause he was like slamming my body into the stuff. Like the dresser, the walls, the bed, stuff like that.
Did you end up hitting your head on the dresser there?
I hit my head on the dresser, the wall, the beds.
How long was he doing this for?
Maybe 3 hours.
Okay. And is he kind of going back and forth from hitting
He's
you
like
or choking you?
Like aggressive, he's calling me out my name, he's hitting me, then one minute he's crying, he's apologetic, he's sorry for what he did, and then the next minute he's back into a full rage, back doing the same exact thing, like it was just on and off cycle, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I had to go to the restroom, He stood at the restroom while I used the restroom. I asked for water. He walked me to the kitchen and made me drink the water in front of him.
Were you scared at that point?
Yes.
Were you in fear for your life?
Yes.
And did you have your cell phone with you right then?
Yes, I was trying to call somebody to come and help me, like my grandfather or 911, but he took it.
So you were trying to call 911 or your grandfather and
He took my phone, took my keys, he took all my stuff.
okay. He took that from you and how was he choking you? Can you describe that to me?
It was like he would grab me like this and just squeeze it. Not like a regular choke like you do somebody. He was grabbing this and just squeezing it down. So like you couldn't to catch a breath or anything. It was just instantly you cannot breathe, you cannot do anything.
Is that kind of almost like I guess the pressure point we have right there?
Whatever this is in the throat is what he was grabbing on and squeezing. I'm not exactly sure what that is.
Did you feel him? You feel it scratch your neck or did you feel?
I felt like my neck was closing, like I couldn't breathe. Even when he was done and I was in the hospital, I still was having problems breathing.
When he was doing this, where was he at? Was he on top of you or where were you at?
I was on the ground majority of the time. Sometimes I was on the side of the bed. On the bed, he was more so on the side of me. On the ground, he was on top of me.
And were you eventually able to get out of the house?
Yes, when he was finished, he basically was calm. He was like, okay, let's go get your kids. We can go get your kids now. Like he was just through with the whole situation.
Okay. Now, did you ever have to, did you ask for water like the last time?
Yes,
You recall, saying you ran out then?
yes.
Okay. And where'd you run to?
I ran to the chicken place across the street from my house and I used somebody's phone in there to call 911.
Is that Hart's Chicken?
Yeah.
Here in Beaumont? Okay. So you ran over there and one of the people buying some chicken there, one of the individuals.
For me to talk to the police.
Okay. And you called 911, is that correct?
Yes.
The police showed up. Did you tell them what happened?
Yes, I told him everything that happened. I told him that he had my children. I told him that he had all my belongings.
What was your main concern there when the police showed up?
Kids.
Okay, the kids. And you still had no idea where they were necessarily at, right?
You know, well, I knew once he said, let's go get your kids, it kind of just let me know that he had.
But you didn't know if they're
I didn't know.
okay or what's
I just
you.
knew he had them.
Okay. And so when you tell the police, what do y'all do at that point?
The police, I guess they radio me, they write down his information, they ask his address and all of that, and then they take me back to my house to basically make sure nobody's in my house.
When y'all get back to the home, what do you see when you're getting back in?
Nobody's there. They walk the house, and then while we're talking, my kids come walking down the street because they said he let them out down the street.
So your kids come walking up and
They have my phone, they have my keys, all my stuff that he just left.
so they came back with those items that he had just taken. Do you know how your kids were taken?
They said he told them I said for him to come get them.
And had they stayed with him ever before when y'all were actually dating?
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't something that would be necessarily so out of the ordinary if he had, but grown up tells them that they had stayed there before a long time. Yeah. So you get back, your kids are there. Were all of your clothes on when this was going on?
When I woke up, one of the times I'm conscious, I had no clothes. I had to put the clothes back on.
Did you know if Mr. Johnson had sexually assaulted you or anything like that? Okay. Did you tell the police that you didn't know if you had been or hadn't been? And did they have an ID tech come over there and take some photographs of you there at the house? I'm showing you and marked as state's exhibits 2 through 9.
Let's do those. What are showing in those, these photos?
The pictures the police took when they came after I called them of my injuries.
And does these photos fairly and accurately depict how you looked on that day and the injuries that are there in those photos?
Yes.
Guard offer states exhibits 2 through 9. No objection from the defense, so.
Gotcha.
This time.
No objection?
No objection.
All right. State's exhibits 2 through 9 are admitted. May publish.
Showing you mark the state's exhibit 2. What is that they're showing? The scratch, is that scratching on your face right there?
It's a scratch by my nose and under my eye. It's a bruise coming in.
And that right here. Also, is there,
Bruising coming in.
and then,
Scratches and bruising.
and let's see over here, is that your ear? It's got a
Scratch.
scratches. Show you what's that admitted as state's exhibit 3. And what is that showing right there? Another scratch on your
It's
neck?
a scratch. Mhm.
These were taken by the ID tech just shortly after the police had showed up.
They came maybe like 20 minutes after the police came.
Show you state's exhibit 4. Yeah, there's this showing that's showing that
Scratch.
bruising and scratching on your neck.
Mhm.
Another one right there. And did you have any of this on your neck, any of these injuries before November 9th, 2024? States exhibit number 5. Again, is that showing more bruising and scratching to your neck area,
Mhm.
on the left side of your neck?
Is that, he asked the question, that's the left side of your neck and your answer?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead.
And 3 states exhibit 6, it's been admitted. Was this more scratching and
There's scratching and bruising coming in.
next to your
My back.
right shoulder there, back of it? Here we're gonna admit states exhibit number 7. Was that more scratching and bruising there to your back?
Yeah.
All those areas. That another scratch gonna come right there.
Yes.
And states exhibit number 8. Let me get it out. Showing the scratches right there
Mhm.
coming down.
Yes.
States exhibit 9. The admitted. Again, this showing some more scratching and bruising
That's
right here.
disgusting.
The police show up. And you don't know if you've been sexually assaulted or not. Do they take you to have a SAINT exam there?
Like my grandfather put me to have this name now,
Okay.
because I had my children with me.
Okay. So your grandpa took you over there. Was that to St. Elizabeth Hospital
Yeah.
here in Beaumont?
Yeah.
When you got there, do you recall, how did you feel when you got there?
I was in a lot of pain. I was a lot really confused, but more so pain because my neck and my head it was bad.
Were you nauseous?
Yes, I was throwing up everywhere.
Okay. And so were you able to, did you meet with the Miss Nia Knighton there? Was well, now the forensic nurse examiner there?
Yeah.
Okay. Did she order some, did they actually have some CAT scans that were ordered?
They ordered multiple tests actually, because she wanted to make sure I didn't have a concussion of any sort, because the way I was growing up and I was shaking. She redid the pictures as well, because she said that there was more stuff than I was telling her that I could remember. I think it's mostly.
And has, at any point during this on November 9th, did you invite Mr. Johnson over there to your home?
Ask the question again.
At any time on November the 9th or around then, did you invite Mr. Johnson over to your home?
No.
Okay. Did you ever, at that time, did you at any point give him permission to come in your house?
No.
Has Mr. Johnson tried to contact you at all recently?
Yeah.
And when was that?
The last time was today.
And how did he try to contact
He contacted me on Snapchat.
you? And what was on there?
He sent me a picture of his debit card, and then he told me to take $500 off his card for my birthday, and then take another $500 next
And when is your birthday?
December 12th.
So trying to give you an extra early birthday present there. Did you accept that?
No, I didn't respond.
Has he contacted you at other times recently?
Yeah.
And what were those contacts
He
regarding?
put pictures and videos of things he was doing and food he was eating and cooking and stuff like that, but I didn't respond to those as well.
And you haven't had any kind of relationship with Mr. Johnson since this, have you?
No.
Okay. And y'all aren't in any kind of relationship? And y'all weren't at the time that this incident occurred? Best wish.
Go ahead.
You may go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
We can go into a little lunch hour.
All right. Now, the night before this incident happened, you said you're at Trayvon's house, correct? Okay. So when your kids went to bed that night, you were there. Did you tell your 13-year-old you were going to be leaving in the middle of the night? Okay, so she was up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And then your other kids were 8 and 3. So you left them there alone and locked the door.
My oldest daughter locked the door. I have a double deadbolt, so it's the same key.
Okay.
There's only one key.
So when Mr. Johnson showed up, was he coming there to talk to you?
I wasn't there.
Okay. Well, you.
I wasn't there. The first time.
I'm talking about when you were when he came to into the house with you.
Oh, sure, when he showed up. He
Okay.
hadn't communicated, so I'm not sure I believe that.
Well, whenever he came into the garage, was he talking to you or is he quiet? What was going on?
I was asking him, do you know what kids were? Because my kids aren't here anymore.
Okay. And you just assumed it was him?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
Why did I assume it was him? Because he doesn't live by my house anywhere. And then my kids were at home with nowhere to go for a vehicle to leave. But it makes no sense for my children to be anywhere besides home right with them, or to go with the other. And then again, that morning, he was there in his car. With no business of being there.
Had Mr. Johnson been at your house before that date? Well, the answer is, I mean,
Yes,
That's
we
true.
were there.
okay, well, that's what I'm getting at. Y'all had dated, okay? Had he ever stayed the night at your house?
Maybe in February, one time when we did today.
Okay. Had you ever been to his house?
Yeah,
Okay, had you ever stayed the night at his house?
yeah,
Okay. Had you ever had to stay at his house when you've had your power shut off or something like that?
yeah,
Okay. Have your kids stayed at his house before?
yeah.
Okay. Including, how many times had your power been shut off and you had to stay with him?
My power has never been turned off at 24 hours a year, so maybe something else, but my power.
Okay, okay. Some other utility. Okay. What I'm getting at, why were the kids at his house? Was it because they couldn't live at your house at the time because of utilities or why?
On what date are you?
Well, I don't know. You tell me what date they stayed there.
My kids only stayed there if I stayed there. If we went over there because we were invited or something going on in my own house, then I'd be at their house.
Had you stayed at his house anytime since the summer of 23?
Yes,
And so your kids did know him.
yes,
Okay. So if he did show up that morning and you weren't there and he took them to his house, they would have went with him.
correct.
Okay. And they had stayed at his house before.
correct.
All right. Okay. And you have a criminal charge pending right now, don't you? Okay. For criminal mischief. For damaging windows in an apartment.
Yeah.
Whose apartment was that?
I don't know the person's apartment that it actually was, but the person that brought me there that I spent the night with, his name was Darrell Lewis.
Okay. Darrell Lewis. So this wasn't Trayvon.
No,
Okay.
and this is from September of 2024.
And I don't know the answer to this question, but did Mr. Johnson ever have a key to your house?
Yeah,
Okay, all right. And even the day that this happened, even if you had a key, you couldn't get into the house because it was dead bolted from inside, correct? Okay, so somebody would have had to open the door from the inside. Okay, even if you came home, you would have, like you said, you were knocking on the door trying to get in, correct?
there's
Okay, okay. Pass the witness.
So you hadn't dated Mr. Johnson since August 2023. And he had no reason to come to your house on November 9th, 2024. And he was not invited to your home on November 9th, 2000. And as far as the criminal mischief, that had nothing to do
nothing to
with Mr. Johnson. And you didn't ask Mr. Johnson to assault you and choke you, did you?
No,
That's the way.
Nothing more, yeah.
Anything else on this?
No, Your Honor.
John?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. Can all of you return back at 1:15? 1:15. Please remember the instructions the court has given to you, and we'll see you all again. Thank you. Everyone else remain seated while the jury exits first. Thank you. Counterclockwise. Thank you. In summary, this motion to revoke probation states that on June 24th, 2019, in this court, you were placed on 10 years deferred or unadjudicated probation for assault on a public servant. Is that true?
Yes.
Count two. Okay, hold on. I was just, who the public servant was it a police officer? Oh, a jailer.
Yes, sir.
Those are important people. Two, states you failed to provide verification of performing community service hours as directed by the court. And from probation, where are we on how many community service hours? Oh, thank you very much, sir. Did we perform here?
20 hours in 6 years.
Okay. Not much. Nice. Well, community service is very important, and it's the difference between successful and unsuccessful handling of your problem. So you have failed to provide verification of performing community service hours. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
And that's in violation of condition 18 of your community deferred unadjudicated probation, where you were required to do that. Number one, the burglary of a habitation, that was something filed on that formally?
Yes, sir. And
And is
I'll
that-
dismiss. I'll send it to you. You should have it in your queue.
Okay. And as far as fees are concerned, which are important, that's the way defendants, among other things, take care of their responsibility. But you had a fine of $500 that you were required to pay, supervisory fees of $60 a month, post-sentencing investigation fee is $500, other fees, and then maintenance. You have to, that supervision fees accrues at $60 a month. So we're talking about $720 a year over time. This motion to revoke probation states as of June, months ago, you were in arrears $6,453 for fees. Can you tell me in almost 6.5 years, which is like 80 months, how much has she paid toward any of these fees?
$743.
Mhm. Okay. All right. So that comes out to about $10 a month. Nice. Hardly anything. It's obvious that from the outset here, you didn't have your mind in the game. So let's see what we're going to do. There's an agreement that has been reached, I guess, huh?
No, sir. We're just dismissing the agreement was to dismiss the new case. That's it.
How much time does she have to miss? That's important to know. This is a third-degree felony. As you know, if your probation is revoked and you're found guilty, you are looking at no less than 2, no more than 10 years confinement in prison. What is, while we're waiting, what's the state asking for the request, and what's the defense say? Go ahead, state.
Judge, just talking to the probation officer, it doesn't appear that Ms. Dugas is taking this serious. She's just not been doing community service. She's not paying. She doesn't seem to be really doing everything she can do to make up for what she did as far as committing the offense. I don't at this time think it's going to do any good to place her in prison, but I do think she needs to know the seriousness of this. So maybe she needs to do some weekends in jail or something to just kind of get her attention
to let us know we're serious about this probation. This is not just something she can do and get away with it without actually towing the line and doing what you've ordered her to do.
Go ahead.
Well,
From
I'm
defense,
I
Mr. Hughes.
regularly state that this doesn't warrant revoking your probation, sending her to prison. I think whatever sanctions the court feels is appropriate
Like what?
to get her attention. Yeah,
It's been,
Yeah.
it's been 6.5 years. She's not, you're gonna have a chance to be heard. Don't interrupt. Yeah, I look at this objectively, as the state does. I haven't even heard from the probation office, but I know what's gonna happen. I know what she's gonna say, because there was a memo that was sent in, but you didn't take this seriously. Everybody else seems to. We have 5,000 people on probation at any given time. And 95% of them are successful. 95, almost 95%. And we're very proud of that. We wished it was 100%. But there's some like you who just don't buy into the game of helping themselves be the best they can be. And these are shown. Now, they dismissed a new crime, but I know what's behind that too. I mean, you shouldn't even be charged with a crime on my watch. That's just terrible. But the way you fix things are these other, not just refraining from committing crimes, but the community service hours and paying your fees. Those are the only other things really, other than be a good person. All those terms and conditions kind of fall into, this is what you can do to pay back to society for your mistake, which you didn't do.
I don't show that reporting has been a problem.
Sir?
I don't show that reporting has been a problem.
Well, community service hours is where you get put back. I mean, she shows up, but she doesn't do anything. She shows up. So I'm here. Can I go home now? I mean, there's no progress. What have you done in probation that is a progress that has made the community and the world and yourself better? That's what I don't think. What do you say?
Well, I know I haven't been paying because.
You haven't been doing anything. You haven't done community service hours, hardly anything. But if you can't pay, I understand. But still, everybody can do something. I'm not going to bore you with the day I turned 16, I went to work at 3 a.m. at 80 cents an hour, but it wasn't that hard because I wanted to be independent and I wanted to make something of my life. Here, I mean, let's get back to, you assaulted a jail, a public servant of all people. I mean, what lady assaults other people, much less a gentleman? But there you are. And then there's nothing these are the kinds of things that show that you really want to fix, atone, and do better. But you're not showing it. Tell me, what have you done in 6.5 years that has made the world a better place?
Take care of my kids, I barely get paid, please. I can't really just get a job because they're assaulting my.
I can't hear you.
background. I said it's hard for me to get a job with this assault on my background.
You haven't been convicted of anything.
I know, but it's hard for me when they do background checks, they're hindering me from getting.
I've got numerous people on deferred or unadjudicated probation that don't have problems getting jobs. I mean, nobody seems to. You're on deferred, you haven't been found guilty, you're presumed innocent. I mean, they may not want you to work for them, but most of the 5,000 probationers have jobs and are doing fine. They're not prevented from getting a job. But so You weren't doing that, but you could have done some community service. Which you did. From probation. All right, would you summarize for me this lady's performance?
She does report, but she
What
doesn't really
else?
work
She
probation.
She doesn't report she's going to go to prison. But what about, what is it? Or I sense a frustration here. What about the community service? What have we done to try to get her to do something that makes the community, that puts back into the community for the mistakes she made? Mhm.
Well, I told her prior to us coming here to just work some community service because she doesn't have a job right now, but
6.5 years. Did she have a job any during the time?
She had-
72 months?
she had a job before this charge, the new one,
Doing what?
flagging at a refinery.
Okay. Okay. So 6.5 years goes by. What is anything? No job?
I
Well,
have
she works at home. I mean, she's got a family. How many children?
3. 1, 2,
What, and the father, what does he do? Ma'am?
And one of my first baby's father, he's in prison. So
The father of your first child is in prison. Your first two are, he's in prison. What about the bad choice in guys there, huh?
It's like
What about the other father?
he don't.
He did.
He don't.
Okay. From probation, tell me, what do you think here?
I think we can put in some sanctions to help her motivate her to work probation.
Really? You're gonna have to be creative. Because 6.5 years have gone by and this is it. The sum total is nothing. Children, but a broken family. No community service, no job. I mean, we're starting from ground zero. But a lot of people do, and then move up to the high rise. Okay, now let's see. All right. What is, okay, help me on state. I know this is dismissed. I'm looking at the administrative hearing here, and this states that the defendant allegedly committed the offense of burglary of a habitation, entered the victim's residence without consent and violently assaulted the occupants of the house.
According to the co-defendants and a video provided to one of the other prosecutors, who's in this case, Mr. Ham, there's 2 girls that were involved in the altercation. The defendant went in to go get the one out or get the other 2 out to kind of break things up a little. Giving her the benefit of the doubt since the other 2 both stated she was not involved in the altercation.
She, her, the defendant, this
yes.
defendant? Okay, so
But-
this finding is wrong. Entered the residence without consent and violently assaulted the occupants of the house. That's wrong.
No, the occupants are saying that she did, but the co-defendants are all both saying that she did not, that the 2 of them that have already pled to it are the ones that committed the offense.
Was she with them?
She was with them. She shouldn't have been present where a crime was being committed. That's a violation of her probation, but she, according to them, she was not part of the assault.
Yes, she's on probation.
Yes, sir. I understand that, Judge.
Okay.
I read over the file really hard before I made that decision. Yes, sir. So.
All right. Anything else? We're going to find that there is sufficient evidence supporting this motion to revoke unadjudicated probation. To grant it by preponderance of the evidence or greater, as I find the defendant has pleaded true to allegation 2 voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently. That is enough to grant this motion to revoke probation, find you guilty, and sentence you to 10 years in prison. How's that sinking in? Good? Yeah, well, that's what you've earned by your behavior. I'm going to defer though formally revoking and finding her guilty. I will continue her on probation, but I don't want to see any return until we come back and say, hey, she's completed probation successfully. You assault another person, shame on you. You're not role modeling the children that you say you love. You're going in, you're in somebody's home and there's a scuffle going on, whether you're involved or not. Why aren't you taking care of your problems and your children? Not being involved in assaults that you're on probation for. I mean, that's number one, it's not ladylike. And it's number two, it's not a good role model for the child. That they deal with their problems by
What do you think?
assaulting each other.
No.
You've got to set an example. Obviously, the fathers of the children are poor examples. It's up to you. Those children are going to do just what their parent does. The person that's most influential to them, and that's going to be you, because the fathers obviously are worthless. You need to make better choices in guys too. They're good guys out there.
Are we dismissing the MTRP and letting her just
No.
continue? Or are we holding it in
No.
advance for a while?
It's going to continue.
Okay.
And is there anything you need to do the work that you're not doing, and that is the community service? If you can't pay fees, you can't go to jail because you're unable to pay and you're trying. As long as you try. But on something for community service, and is there something we can do for community service that will help this particular lady, her needs and her issues concerning assaultive behavior and thoughts? What can we do to put her in a position that she is she's doing something that is promoting peace? Can we think of something? Y'all are very creative about that, but we're going to continue the terms of probation. And if there are other things we can do to help her where she can continue to take care of the family and be a good role model and do something that is peace loving rather than assaultive, then that's what we want. We'll continue. Well, I want to review it in 6 months, see how you're doing. But failure is not an option here. Your children don't need you in prison, right? Get a resetting. And we actually have Ms. Dugas. It was on 2 cases. There was also a burglary of a habitation, right? That you're on, and it's the same.
No, sir.
Oh, that's a new case. That's the one I'm dismissing.
Oh, this is going to be.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. I sent the dismissal to you.
Yeah, that was just. Yeah, that was just filed in June. Okay.
Yes, sir. You should have that
So,
on tablet.
that case, Don and Ms. Dugas, that case is dismissed, okay? 728. Actually, it's the one. You're the ones, Chris.
Right, I know. I wrote this out before it was dismissed, so I'll cross it out.
Okay. Right.
Give me a sec.
Okay. Next is looks like Jason Nix and Cation Christopher has been reset. Then I go to Angela Bell.
Yes. No, if you have any work, we're going to go ahead and put it on the child back, so I'm not sure we're going to resolve it unless I'm kind of working to find some witnesses. See, bro, I noticed the age of the case, so.
Hold on.
I
Tablets not. It's one of those days, folks.
am with Ms. Moore, trying to get it moved, but as far as the court, it's been probably saying the child.
All right. I've got Angela Bell here, 24 CR 1079. The defendant has been indicted a year and a half ago. for the third degree felony of obstruction or retaliation. This carries with it up to 10 years in prison before. The complaint filed charges against bail. Complainant received a video showing that Bell was making threats to assault her due to her filing charges against Bell. Oh, this is the complainant. Okay. She was assaulted by Bell, struck her in the face and head numerous times. What's this? Why a year and a half?
I've had like too much, Judge.
Well, who had it and didn't do anything with it before? Who was your attorney before?
Mr. Davis, Mr. Groves,
I'm sorry?
Mr. Groves Davis.
Wait, do you ever run into this lady, Brittany Franklin?
We lived in the same apartment.
No, since this indictment,
No.
because if you contact her or so, if you contact her or somebody else on your behalf contacts her, your bond will be revoked and you'll sit this out in jail until we can get this done. Nobody influences or intimidates or tries to communicate with a complainant except the lawyers, okay? Don't do that or anyone on your behalf unless it's your attorney, because that would be catastrophic. We're having problems with that later. And those people are going to jail and sitting in jail. And we can't tolerate that. People manipulating behind the scenes, trying to influence and intimidate people. Now, this is long enough. This is way too long. What are we going to do? What was the offer on this?
5 years deferred is what I saw.
Deferred or unadjudicated probation?
Yeah.
Well, that initially it was just deferred, so the numbers, I think this is more is added the numbers, so.
What was
That's what I was in the
let,
file.
let me ask you, was this woman actually harmed in any way, or is it just threats?
Judge, the allegation is he was hitting the mouth, basically.
He was hitting them out. Did something happen? Did he lose a tooth? Or something?
Nope, I don't really even tease with.
Was there any damage?
That's what she's saying, that there's a scrape on her chin and then maybe some ulcerations on the inside of her lip.
It says struck in her face and head numerous times, causing pain and injury, but that's all it states. I don't know what, did we lose a tooth? Did we have stitches?
I haven't heard anything additional about tooth or stitches, Judge. I just saw the pain.
Can you find out?
There were no stitches, there was no tooth loss.
Can we find out what the exact
Yes, sir.
cause of damage was? I want everybody back in a couple of weeks, see if something like this can be worked out if the injuries were not serious, okay?
We also believe that it may not have happened, but that's another story.
Okay, well, I mean, if it didn't happen, nobody gets forced into anything, but the grand jury sure got tricked.
No, it's lower standard.
No, that's. We don't even go there. I mean, somebody presented something in good faith to the grand jury. If they didn't, let me know, and I'll take care of it. But if it was, let's don't play gamesmanship. Come on. The facts are facts. And I'd like to know what it is, but that grand jury doesn't get tricked by the DA's office. DA's office acts on it. Or they wouldn't have the reputation. 2 weeks, okay, we're seeing what that is.
We just want to make sure that her child has to go to the heart doctor on, I think, December 2nd.
And the team.
Let's don't do it on that.
Yeah, so I'm just making sure the court was aware of it.
Okay, Michael Johnson.
Okay.
Michael Johnson, this next gentleman. You know what? I have a couple of dismissals here. I've got Dugas 25 CR 72A. Dugas, that has been dismissed. Hunter Chappelle, I'm dismissing that as well today.
Thank you, sir.
In that case. I gave her right. thing today. It's kind of fun. Just to review. It's being.
You know,
You asked us to do that. To see what we think the options were.
yeah.
Okay. Hi, Jake. Okay, Hunter Hale, that case
Makes my job easier.
17-28063, 10 years ago. That is dismissed. And also, I have case Sheena Miller, 24 CR 2.53. This, oh, I like this dismissal a lot better than that other one. That's the spacing. There was no spaces to write it. I don't have those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how, we did two different versions of.
I don't know. We have to put our bar number on the ones when we dismiss the MTRPs. We don't on the ones we dismiss regular cases. This is
All right, here's this one. Thank you, man. Do that because it's,
Yeah.
trying to bite me. And now we have 23 CO 1765, the state of Texas versus Michael Johnson Jr. earlier here in last week. You were here and it's pleaded true to allegation 1 and 2. Committing the offense of evading arrest or detention on or about April 1st of this year, and also on that day committing the offense of resisting arrest in this state's in violation of your probation order of May 15th, 2024, where you were sentenced 2 years in the state jail, probated for 5 years for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Today, what are we here to do?
Your Honor, I think last week we were talked about getting him into ISF, and I think you requested the probation department to prepare new orders or amendment to the orders.
And where are we?
Okay, so I spoke to the mental health officer as well, because that's where we had
Yes, ma'am.
chose to place him. So I have on my amendment here, I have that he be placed on the mental health initiative caseload. That one is more forensic.
Okay.
So that one's a closer monitoring. He'll get a case manager that he'll meet with once or twice a month.
Okay.
And he'll work through like a management book that helps him with budgeting, all that kind of stuff, and help him understand his diagnosis. I also want to put him in MRT, which is the mental the
Recreation
behavioral recreation therapy class, because I think he needs something
Okay.
to help with that.
Those will be amendments to his probation.
I also think that we should place him on DROP, which is our random drug testing for the next 6 months,
Okay.
to help with that. And then I also said he needs to be placed on zero tolerance, because I think that'll also help as well. He's
yeah.
already done ISF. He's successfully completed.
Failure's not an option.
Yeah.
No problems. I hear one problem, they're going to come to me. And then we'll pick up where we left off. And it's this quick. I've already made the findings. I would make these two statements. The motion to revoke probation is granted. You were sentenced to up to 2 years. 2 sentences. That's all that's between you and you going to prison, but it's really what's between you and going to prison is your actions, not mine. It's yours. So we've horsed around long enough with you. Do the right thing. What do you want to do with your life? I mean, to make the world a better place and you a better person, what do you want to do? What would you like to do? What you have skills. I bet everybody has a gift. Our creator gave everyone a gift of something. What is it that you're real good at? And that's what you do. You find what you're good at and you like to do it and then do it. And then the world's a better place. What is it? Sir?
Build construction.
Good.
There's a lot of that work out there.
But we can help him with job searches and stuff in the office as well. That we get a lot of people sending us like, oh, that we need people. So we can also recommend those to him as well.
You'll be a builder of good things. Plus A builder of a good life. Here, you're gonna have to sign these. I've signed them and I want to review in 6 months. Okay, how he's doing? Thank you. Anything else? We're in recess. All right, let's get ready for trial. Thank you. Thank you. Case view, Ada, I'm case viewing.
Yeah.
I'm in a case view.
Let me get
Yeah.
this set where I see it.
I usually come meet Thursday months.
No, that's great. I'm gonna post not.
All right.
Thank you.
So our recess, we'll bring the jury in. Let's get to trial. Thanks you very much. Stand by.
Please state your name for the record.
Minnie Freeman,
And Ms. Freeman, where do you currently work at?
the Beaumont Police Department,
And how long you been working there at Beaumont PD?
18 years.
And what area do you work in over there?
Currently assigned to the fraud unit. At the time of this incident, I was assigned to the defendant unit, in criminal investigations division.
So on November 9th, 2024, you were there in the family violence division? With regard to that, did you, how does that work? Do officers go out there initially as the detective? Do other officers generally arrive on scene when an incident occurs, and then call the detectives, investigators after that? Or how does it?
Right, and it depends. When a 911 call comes in, officers respond, they take the report. If it's a situation where they feel that a detective isn't even on scene, they'll call us things. If not, then the report's made and it comes up to our unit, it's assigned by our sergeant, and at that time we take over the insurance.
And on November 9th, 2024, did you receive a report from that date from Officer Dominic Gradozzi?
I did. I didn't receive it that day. I believe that was on a weekend, maybe a Saturday. I received it the following week it came to me.
Okay. And it came to you, and what was that involving?
I don't understand.
As far as what kind of what was being alleged there when you received the report? What was that?
Oh, okay. So in the family violence unit, we investigate violent crimes between family members or those who have had a previous intimate relationship. This case, there was an outcry of violence. The victim had a previous relationship with the suspect, and he had come to her residence and forced his way into the residence and assaulted her.
And who was the complainant or victim in this case?
Nisha Paul.
So she was alleging family violence that occurred by her ex-boyfriend, was it?
Correct.
Okay. And did you were able to identify that individual?
Yes, sir.
And who was that?
Charles Johnson.
And do you see Mr. Johnson in the courtroom here today?
Yes, sir.
Could you please point to him to describe what he's wearing?
He's sitting right there in the black shirt with a tank top.
Your Honor, I'd ask the record reflect the witness identified the defendant.
Yes, it will.
And so you received the report from Officer Gradozzi. Were there also some photographs taken there that had been taken of Miss Parr?
Yeah.
And who were those taken by?
ID techs take our photographs. Ms. Parr, though, she was also sent for treatment at a medical facility, so there was photographs taken there as well.
And was she actually sent to have a sexual assault nurse examiner examine her for potentially having been assaulted sexually?
She was.
Okay. And when she you received the medical records from that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And also were there also photos taken from that as well?
Yes, there were.
And you kind of packaged all of that stuff up and presented it to the district attorney's office? With the photos, did you were there any injuries there in those photos to the complainant?
Yes, Ms. Parr had numerous bruises, scratches throughout her body. They were fresh.
And did you actually conduct an interview with Ms. Parr yourself as well?
I-
And during that interview, did you find out that her, three children had been in the home as well just previous to that incident?
They had been in the home, prior to everything happening. But he had come to the house and actually removed the children while she was gone and put them at his apartment, then came back to her house and assaulted her.
So was your understanding that he came back, assaulted her, while the children were at his apartment?
That's correct.
And did you also, have a chance to interview, the children there?
Yes, I did.
And which ones did you interview?
There were three children, a 13-year-old, I believe an 8-year-old, and a 3-year-old. I talked to the two eldest children.
So the 8-year-old and the 13-year-old?
Correct.
And in speaking with them, were they able to corroborate that they had in fact been, taken to the apartment by Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
And, do you know why they went over there?
He took them over there. I believe the children felt that their mother might be there. He just told them, come with me, and he took them over there. They were over there for several hours eating and kind of hanging out.
So he takes them over there, he comes back, assaults, Miss Parr, and then did the children end up back at the house there?
That's correct.
And at what point did they end up back at the house?
This was after the assault had ended. Ms. Parr was able to flee the house. She was unable to call for police herself, so she had to run down the street and flag someone down to use their phone. She called for police. In the meantime, police come and are talking to her as they're bringing her back to the residence. Her children come walking from the front of the residence. They were given a ride back to the residence, but dropped off just down from the residence. They weren't brought home all the way because police were there. So they were dropped off and had walked back the rest of the way. And of course, still hadn't seen their mother and were looking for their mother. They were scared and concerned that the police were at their house.
Did the kids have anything, or did you notice anything? Was there anything that was noticeable, as far as what the kids had with them when they returned?
The eldest child had her mother's cell phone, which she did not have that morning when she left the house with Mr. Johnson.
So she didn't have the cell phone when Mr. Johnson came and picked those children up and brought them back to his apartment. And then she had it, coming back when he dropped them off while Miss Parr she had the Hart's Chicken right there with, Officer
Correct.
Guidosi?
Just down the street from her house.
And did you receive the findings there from the same exam?
I reviewed them. There was another detective that actually worked that portion of the case. I did review them.
And there was also some, I'll let them get into that. So you essentially received all of this, all the photos, all of the interview with Miss Parr, then you interviewed the children, and based upon that, you filed a burglary of a habitation, with the intending to commit assault there?
Yes, I also did speak with Mr. Johnson by phone.
Okay. And did Mr. Johnson say anything about the assault?
He denied it happened.
Did he ever say anything about being at the residence itself?
He had nothing to say about being at the residence at this time. No, not during this incident, no.
Did he have any alibis or anyone to say that he was not there or that he was doing something?
Specifically, if there was someone that could state where he was, he said that his adult children could.
And Were those individuals, Charlie and Simon, or
That's the information he gave me, first names and phone numbers.
did you, call those individuals to kind of see if they would, back up what Mr. Johnson was telling you?
Absolutely. I tried to call each number, I left messages and no one returned my call.
So no one ever, ended up returning your calls? So based on everything you received, you decided to, file charges for the, burglary of habitation?
Yeah,
And you didn't file anything on the, for the sexual assault, did you?
no,
And with that, was it ever alleged that he actually sexually assaulted her?
no, the situation was one where Miss Parr was assaulted to the point, choked to the point, strangled to the point that she lost consciousness numerous times. And during one of those, awoke and she was unclothed, her clothes had been ripped off her. She wasn't aware that she had been assaulted. She never claimed she had been sexually assaulted, but we didn't know. So out of precaution, we did the same thing.
That's illusion.
Morning, Detective.
Good morning.
Some of these are maybe simple questions I gotta ask you. You didn't see any of these incidents occur, did you?
No.
Okay. You were given the report and the photos almost a week later, correct?
Yes, I believe the 14th possibly. was the
Yeah.
date.
Okay. And your evaluation was based on what you were provided and what you were told.
Beyond that, we do investigate, we talk to people, we, piece things together, but yes.
That's what I'm getting at, because you were told you ask questions and find out stuff. In other words, you didn't see any of this. And did you go out to the scene?
No, I did not.
Okay, all right. So you're relying on what the officers provided to you and the witnesses provide to you?
And photographic evidence, yes.
Yes.
Medical records, things of that nature.
Right, exactly. So based on your investigation of what you were told, you can't testify to the jury why Mr. Johnson went over to that house, can you? Okay, all right. It could have been to assault her. That's one of the possibilities, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It could also just be to go over and talk to her because they had a relationship before.
Yes.
Okay. And just to clear this up, because I know that everybody's probably thinking about this. The children weren't harmed, were they?
No, never not.
Oh, okay. And they all knew or seemed to know Mr. Johnson.
Yes, they did.
Okay. All right. And they seemed to go with him without any issue as far as you know.
Correct.
Okay. All right. In other words, he didn't like force them or grab them or tie them up or anything like that, did they?
No, they
Okay.
did not.
Okay. All right. And also, as far as you don't know how Mr. Johnson got in the house, whether he was invited in or forced his way in, do you?
He was not invited in. I did speak to the children and he was not invited in.
But that's what you were told. That's what I'm getting at. Right. Okay. And as far as him being invited in with Miss Parr when she got there, you don't know. You're only going by what she told you, correct? That's what Sean.
When you spoke to Mr. Johnson, he actually denied being at the residence, didn't he?